Hello, everybody. It's Gary Stuckey with Real Music. Hope you're doing okay wherever you are today. Just want to say my prayers are with those involved with the Hurricane Helene that's passed over the southeast. Missed us, and I'm thankful for that. But the ones that have gone through so much in the last couple of days, prayers are with you. And I hope it's going to be brighter days coming up. And a good way to start is to listen to this podcast for some positivity and some great people to listen to. Sixpence None The Richer. That band, so awesome. And I've got two of the members here. Lead singer Lee Nash and guitarist Matt Slocum are here to talk about their brand new EP. It's coming out next week on October 4th. It's called Rosemary Hill. And a couple of songs that I've heard, and their singles just released. We Are Love was released about a month ago. Very good song. Yeah, it really, really hits you. And brand new song called Julia, and really makes you think about life. And had to find out everything about those songs. Of course, you're going to learn about that in a little bit. The stories behind the songs, some of the inside information about the band and different circumstances, and this coffee talk type chat. I mean, you have a great conversation with guests like these that are two of the nicest people that I've talked to. And I think you're really going to enjoy it. And every time I sit and talk with people, on the phone or on a Zoom or whatever it might be, I learn something too. And I really get an inside look at them. It's like reading a biography. I love biographies. And I get a chance to kind of find out what makes them tick, and it's always nice. So here they are. Here's Lee Nash and Matt Slocum. I hear that y'all have a new EP coming out. Is that a rumor or is that the truth?
That is the truth.
And that's next week, right? Time is flying because I know it was like way in the future and now it's approaching, right?
Yes, correct, Matt. Right.
Yeah, October 4th, I think, is the official release date.
Awesome. Uh, and the name of it, Rosemary Hill. Now, where did that title come from?
That is, I actually, Lee and I grew up in a small town in Texas in the hill country, right in kind of just north of San Antonio. And Rosemary Drive is the street I grew up on, and there's kind of a large hill at the end of my street. That was real famous with all the bikers and the skaters and just all of us kids growing up. And so it was always called Rosemary Hill. And so we wrote and recorded a song about growing up there, and that it just kind of morphed into the title of the EP. And yeah, so basically it's just where we grew up.
Awesome. And first single, "We Are Love," and you got a new single called "Julia." What are
Right.
the stories behind? I mean, "We Are Love." There's the lyrics on there. They're really deep, and I love deep music. And I was noticing, in the way you sing, Lee, you know, people believe in you because you have this voice that's sounds pure and believable. So what is it
Mm.
about these songs that are so deep and relatable? I mean, "We Are Love." What is that about exactly?
I think that question is probably Matt wrote "We Are Love" with a great friend of ours, and I can address the voice. I guess all I have to say is thank you for saying that. I
You're
appreciate it. I
welcome.
love singing Matt's words. I mean, anything he writes, I'm always, uh, 10 times out of 10, I'm really excited to sing it. So,
Right. Um, and
but yeah, Matt, go ahead with what
yeah,
it's
go.
about if you want.
Yeah, what's it
Oh,
about?
yeah. Well, we were talking about that the other day. I'm not even sure that we quite knew what it was about when it started taking form. But I think ultimately it's just about. I guess each one of the verses kind of is describing sort of cyclical process of things in nature that go from death to life, or just a cycle of life, and sort of unity to survive those cycles. And so ultimately, it kind of became a song about strength and unity, I suppose. But and then I think when it was released, it kind of took on a different meaning of kind of choosing love over hate, and letting that be a source of unity, kind of in the times we're living in. So we were just sort of commenting. It's always interesting how songs take on new meanings when they hit the listeners, and they kind of reinterpret it in new ways that you weren't expecting.
Right. And when you're writing songs, I guess with the intention to reach somebody. I mean, you go through a certain thing in your life, and then you're hoping that somebody else out there can relate to it. Isn't that the idea when you're writing a song, to kind of reach somebody? Then they go, "Yeah, I've been there too."
Sure.
Yeah, I suppose that's the final completion of the song. I mean, even when it's written and recorded, and until it goes out into the world, it's kind of not complete yet. So the listener always completes the process, which is really exciting.
Right. And the single Julia, the new single, I've been listening to that, and it's encouragement. It sounds like, for this girl going out into the world, and her parents are kind of not believing in her. She believes in herself, and it talks about the book not being written, or something like that. That
Right.
that has to be. Is that something, Lee, that you've dealt with? Is that something that you can relate to as far as in these lyrics?
I not specifically, but it is a true story of a someone that I know, a young person that I'm aware of, and so I do that a lot. You got to be careful what you talk about around me,
Yeah.
because I'll if it's a really good story, I'll turn it into a song, and that's what happened with Julia. I was just very moved by this girl's plight and kind of the things that she was going through, and yeah, a song fell out.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. And that's what I was thinking about earlier, though, with the lyrics and reaching people, because everybody knows somebody that goes through those situations, and the encouragement.
Yes.
But like I said earlier, your voice is so believable, and it's
Uh-huh.
like, and especially like when you're playing guitar, like, Matt, is there's a connection there, with your voice and the guitar, and everybody in the band. Is Did you know that right away when y'all got together, that there's like a match with that guitar and voice, because it's like a mellow, I mean, it's just, I don't know, I can't really explain it, but it's not like any other. And it's, when I'm talking about the truth hitting you in the face, it's like with the guitar and the vocals and the band coming together, there's a certain magic. What do you think that is?
That's really kind. That's really kind of you to say. And I think we're both really. I mean, I know we are really grateful for that, whatever that is. And I don't know, Matt and I can't speak for you, Matt, but we may have been kind of the last to be aware of that magic. But I'm glad other people heard it and maybe continue to hear it. But yeah, there is definitely something really cool there, and us growing up in that little town, and you know, there's like a little bit of an age difference between us, and the fact that we ended up meeting each other and doing music is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. So I just think of it as a really massive gift in this lifetime, and I'm just forever grateful for it.
Right. And Matt, what do you think about that connection? And as far as your playing, I mean, how do the ideas flow? I mean, when you're writing songs and you're hearing her sing, do you get ideas just based off of her vocals? I mean, to me, it seems like that would happen.
Yeah, I mean I guess that's always good. Good music making is listening and reacting. Um, and I think everybody in the band is very, you know, are great musicians, and Lee is a fantastic singer, and uh, that's I think that's what always makes bands special is the way that they listen and react to each other in unique ways. And but it's also kind of a mystery as well. Why it works with some people and it doesn't with others. So you know the trick is kind of finding the right person that you have that kind of chemistry with early enough in life to have enough time to make as much music as possible. So I think we're pretty thankful that we got to find each other early, and like Lee said, we didn't quite even really know it ourselves. We had to have other people kind of say what they saw, and that helped us kind of uh, discover it as we went along, I guess. So it's a bit rambly, but I mean, ultimately, it's just kind of a mystery, really.
Yeah.
Hey, that's all. That works. You don't question it. You just go with it,
Right.
right? Um, and the new EP coming up next week, like we said, whenever something when you're working on something new now, this is like a reunion type album, right? Y'all have kind of been apart for a while. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, we kind of talked. Well, not kind of. We definitely we were working towards this years ago before COVID and all that, and that definitely slowed the process. But here we are, and for whatever reason, I think the timing must be exactly what it should be, or not. I don't know. It seems like it's good timing, and I'm just glad it's happening whenever it happens. So, and now we know it's October 4th.
That's right. That
Yeah.
there's a time and purpose for everything, right? That's true. And a great song so far. I mean, how many songs are going to be on this EP?
There are six.
6 songs. And whenever you're coming out with new music and a new album, do you try to stay, in a certain pattern to your previous work, or do you try to venture out and go, I don't want to do the same thing? Because some people want to sound, similar, but does it just kind of flow? I mean, when y'all are working on songs, how does that work? I mean, how do you kind of stay true to your music?
I think to a certain extent it's sort of an inherent, is that the right word? At this
Yes.
point. But at this on the, I guess, the other side of the coin is I feel like it's sort of the Wild West and we can do whatever we want, and I think we've always felt like we could do that, and that's very special to us. Not that no other band has ever felt that way, but I know I personally feel a lot of freedom to create, and then what we like, and what we love, and so it's really exciting in that way. But yeah, I don't think we're going to come out, sounding like Bon Jovi here anytime soon. And we're going to be Sixpence, but yeah, we are. Our tastes have evolved or changed, and hopefully we're all a little bit have deeper wells to draw from. Um, so it's an exciting time.
Right. And Matt, do you think you've evolved as far as musically, playing guitar? I mean, as the years have gone by, have you developed some kind of new interest and tried it out, and maybe some in this new album?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I'd like to tell myself that I have evolved. I'm always trying to get better, and learn new things, and you know, discover new music, and you know, just yeah, just kind of absorb as much as I can and see what happens. I think I know the reason why I listen to certain bands or artists is because they're essentially just kind of being themselves, and
Right.
sometimes that means they get experimental and really push the boundaries of what you would expect from them, and but you end up, you kind of know that it's genuine because they're just sort of exploring what they want to explore, and I think that's what makes bands cool. So I don't know. I think ideally we're just trying to be ourselves and explore what speaks to us, and hopefully get better in the process. But again, you can kind of deceive yourself on, if you're getting better or not. But I hope we are.
That's definitely the goal. Nobody wants to get worse. I don't think.
Right. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that yet. I want to get worse than I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In talking about that, I mean, setting goals and things like that. Do you have a certain goal, like with this album? You release something. Of course, you've got goals, but I mean, do you kind of set a certain bar? And I know the music industry has changed. I know people don't buy records and things like that, or, like they used to, and CDs. Is that something you think about as far as, I mean, whenever you release an EP, do you, what's your expectation, and what do you think about that? I mean, what do you think when you release it? What makes you smile whenever you release it, as far as how it performs?
I think just if people listen and basically you get good feedback, as opposed to negative feedback. And so
Right.
far, I've early signs point to people really are enjoying what we've released so far. So I'm excited, and also just I'm kind of a person. I can't speak for Matt again, but once something is released, I almost immediately start looking to the next thing, like to the full album, like what stuff's gonna sound like. That's on my mind a lot, and in an exciting way, not a stressful way. But I'm kind of like, oh, the baby's out. Well, that's not a good analogy, but the chicken's out of the. I don't know. I don't know what it is. The horse is out of the barn. Let's get some more horses.
Well,
Sorry, Matt.
that's
Really let us down with that quote.
well. So Matt, what are your feelings on what she just? No, I'm kidding. No, what do you think about that as far as the album, the expectations? I mean, when you hear your album, probably in completion, you probably have a certain level of, just excitement, and you're proud of it. But how do you, when you're waiting, how the fans react and how the media goes and takes it? Do you think, do you worry? What do you do? When you sit back and think about it?
Yeah. I mean, you put. I think every artist just puts so much of themselves into their work, and it is hard work, and it takes a lot of time and effort and practice, and everybody puts a lot into what they release, and I guess ultimately you just want it to connect with people, and not just have people shrug their shoulders and move on. There's
Right.
so much music out there these days. I mean, it's like putting a drop in the ocean these days, and so you just kind of hope that it connects with people on some sort of emotional level. Really, and I mean that to me that's success, and I think we've kind of seen that with some of our past catalog, where it's really connected with people over a long period of time, and then some of it's even done like the generational jump, and so it's like you just never quite know, over the course of time, how it's going to connect with people, and luckily we have seen that happen. So we just, I don't know if it's so much about like physical sales or those type of or radio numbers or whatever, but these days with the amount of music that's out there, if you feel like people connected with it, and had a good experience with it, that's success to me. That's kind of the goal. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And do you think that when you have a song like "Kiss Me," which, by the way, I just heard that is now 3 times platinum, certified by the RIAA. Now that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Uh, 3 times platinum, right? Uh, so how do you if you've set a bar high with a song like that, do you ever try to think that I can get back to that certain level of popularity as far as a song, or you just kind of take it as it goes? Because I know there's no MTV playing songs like that anymore. I mean, or I mean, is that a song like that? I mean, do you when you go into it, when you go into an album, do you think this one's going to be a hit? I mean, how do you know if it's going to be a hit? Did y'all know that
No.
"Kiss Me" was going to be? I mean,
No.
how did that song though? Going back to that song, uh, how did that strike you when it really took off? I mean, I love that song, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, it was wild, and I know we definitely could not have predicted that, and uh, yeah, I don't even. It just is a giant happy accident, but also backed up by a ton of hard work from a lot of people, including us and Matt's great songwriting. You have to start with something that's really awesome, obviously, but at this point, it's become. I mean, I'm so proud of that song and of Matt's having written it. And I used to, when I was growing up and I loved music and was starting to, kind of have dreams of becoming a singer. I always use these two examples, but I loved Peter Cetera and Barry Manilow, those kind
Oh
of
yeah,
artists that had these really, massive hits and these just great voices. And I can't even say what it means that I guess, I mean, I'm not comparing myself to Barry Manilow by any means, so I'd love to. Um, just having a song that's played everywhere all the time, that's inescapable. That little piece of that little girl's dream totally came true, and it shocks me all the time, and I'm really really grateful. But no, there's no way to predict that. I don't think.
right. Yeah. What do you say, Matt?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, and that was a different time in the music business. Uh, the whole game has changed since then. Um, it's hard to even know what a hit even means these days. But and so we were kind of around for the uh, last golden era of radio and those kind of pushes and all that kind of stuff. And so I think conceptually, like the lasting uh, the staying power of that song is, yeah, like we'd love to achieve that again, but I don't think we'll ever achieve like that kind of level of a hit because it's just a different. Everything's just different now. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Right.
even know what I don't like unless you're one of the I don't know the few these days. I don't know how you rise to those heights anymore. So I just am happy to. I know I probably can speak for Matt on this point. I'm just happy to be doing it. So I'm not looking for another kiss me.
Right. You just thankful for what has that you've accomplished, and
Mm.
but I'll say this though: the songs I've heard, they're really good. And Julia, to me, maybe that's like a continuation of this "Kiss Me." That with those
Mm.
dreams and those expectations, and I think the fans that have hope and just believe in music, and y'all have a way of painting a picture like probably nobody else musically and with your vocals, Lee, that I've never seen before. And to me,
Well,
that's just speaks for itself.
well, thank you so much. That means the world. It really does. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Yeah, in the songwriting, like I said, you know to write a song that reaches millions of people and touches their heart and makes them feel better about their life. I mean, having hopes and expectations. So it's one thing to be entertainers and have fun, right? But it's another thing to kind of be like a therapist to people, right? Do you have people told y'all about your songs and how they've helped them in their life?
Yeah, I hear a lot. I hear a lot on social media from people either in direct messages or just comments in general. There was some sweet kid on TikTok today that kind of blew my mind. They wrote your song, "Kiss Me," changed the trajectory of my life, and I haven't responded yet. But I just kind of want to say, what happened?
Yeah, right.
What in the world happened, honey?
Wow.
But I think that's so sweet, and certainly, I mean, the catalog is very is there's a lot in there and a lot of really deep, beautiful words with great meanings, and like Matt was saying, people can kind of find their own meanings, and yeah, I hear it all the time, and yeah, nothing could make me more grateful and thankful to be in this band, and yeah, still doing it.
Well, I think you need to go back and find out the rest of the story and write a song about it. I'm just
Yeah, what happened? I will.
right. What happened? Or write a book or something. Right.
Right.
Well, I appreciate y'all talking to me today. But I will say this, like I said, what I've heard, from the new EP, it's sounding great, and I hope everybody checks it out. Rosemary Hill, going to be out next week, right? Is that next week?
That's
October
right.
4th? Yeah.
October 4th. Yeah.
And,
Wow,
So I don't know how many days are in September, but
that's snuck up on us. I think I
it's like
didn't even
whoa.
realize that. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and the tour, y'all got the tour, and y'all are going to be in Pensacola. I'm hoping to see y'all on 11/11. Those
okay,
are
great.
good numbers.
Great.
Awesome.
Great.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Awesome, and I thank y'all for talking to me today, and hope it all goes well. And the new EP, I think it's going to be great. I believe in y'all. I mean, y'all got some great music, and I think the fans are really going to love it. So thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Gary.
Gary.
Hey, have a great day.
All right, y'all too. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye. And there you go. Sixpence None The Richer, Lee Nash and Matt Slocum. And they got a brand new EP. Remember that? Next week, October 4th, called Rosemary Hill. And catch them on tour near you. Find out where they're at on their website for more information. And until next time, everybody, always remember to keep the music real.